football team, very well coached, very good football team with a lot of good football in front of them, as we well know in our division. So that win speaks a lot. I'm really proud of our guys for the way they played. I thought they handled themselves well, played about as well as you can play in those circumstances against that kind of an opponent. I thought we were real patient throughout the course of the game, especially in the first half, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out against this defense, this great defense, and just to kind of not get out of whack and keep our heads about us and keep trying to pound. And then we were able to get a couple big drives, get a turnover here or there, and get a couple scores, which is what you got to do against a great defense like that. So, I mean, Roquan leading us on defense. Our defense got the spike because they pretty much closed the game out the whole game. You know, that's what they did every single series, led by Rowe and all the rest of the guys. I thought our corners really stepped up. Safeties played good. Our run defense, that's a really good running offense, you know, and they were getting some yards on us here and there, and our guys really, our tackles really started squaring up on their O-line. I thought we set the edge well. And then first interceptions, you know, Brandon Stevens getting his first ever interception. That was really big. And then Kyle Hamilton getting his first ever interception at the end was awesome. So just really proud of all the guys. I thought Mark Andrews just played an incredible game. And then finally, Lamar. I mean, Lamar, that you top rate against this defense, you know, was really a challenge. And Lamar kept his poise. He was running the show out there. He was the point guard. He was the general. He was making the calls, making the changes, handling the shot clock. I just thought he played a fantastic football game. What questions do you have?
John, how big was it? I mean, now that you have two AFC North road games and you come out with both with victories, you know, how does that set you up, do you feel?
Well, it's a good start. I mean, it's a good start. You know, we've got all these AFC North road games on our schedule right away, and that's an opportunity. And our guys have taken advantage of that so far. Now we're going to go to Pittsburgh next week. So in 24 hours, and then we got to get locked in on Pittsburgh because we're going to have to be a better football team than we were this week to go to Pittsburgh and win next week, and that'll be our goal and our mission.
John, you once again had a long drive halted by a fumble. What was the difference this time in your team's ability to bounce back?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the progress you make from one week to the next is really what it's all about. The ability to improve, to learn from your mistakes. You know, the victory that is hidden inside of defeat, you know, is something that it's hard to recognize sometimes. But our guys did that, and they got to work, and they improved in those areas, and they cleaned that up from last week. So we just got to keep getting better every week along those lines.
John, how big was getting the run game going in the second quarter on those two long drives that ended in touchdowns?
It's everything. It was everything. I mean, I thought our backs ran super well, hard downhill. Some of the gap schemes, those are tough. Our offensive line, I mean, those guys are penetrating upfield. They're very good players, inside and on the edge, and the backers are downhill hitting gaps. So you've got to stop the penetration, and you got to get off those blocks and get those linebackers before they get in your backfield and make a play. Offensive line, tight ends, just did a tremendous job of that this game.
I guess the story broke about 2.5 hours before the game that Watson wasn't going to play. Did that change? I mean, I'm guessing you felt like Watson would play. Did that change things up for you guys any?
No, we had the same plan. I mean, I think they run the same offense. You know, of course, you know, Deshaun Watson is who he is, and Dorian is who he is. So, but we really, you know, prepared to play against their offense, and that's what we did. Did very well.
John, do you have any sorry, go ahead, Jones. Do you have any update on Morgan Moses or?
I don't. I think we'll know more tomorrow. Those are things that we'll need to take a look at with an MRI.
John, just how impressive, how important were those two back-to-back touchdown drives, coming the way that they did?
They were massively important. I mean, they were really the game. You know, it gave us an opportunity to get in position to win the game, and we were backed up on both those, were we not? Weren't we back inside our 10 on both those? You know, and for Lamar just like I was just saying a second ago, and really it's everybody in offense, but against that defense, which tries to basically stop you before you get started, that's their MO. To not allow that to happen, it's like an all-out blitzkrieg, you know, to start the play, and they're still good in the back end. It's not like you can just throw it behind them. And for Lamar to handle that, backed up, the dog pound behind him, the motions, the shifts, the checks at the line, changing the plays when he had to change the plays, signal to the receivers when he had to signal to the receivers, ball handling under pressure like that. I think that's what makes him the quarterback he is, and that's what won us the game. Just in those two drives right there, gave us a chance to go all the way down the field. Those were really, I mean, praiseworthy drives.
Roquan, how much did he help set the tone for the defense this game?
I think he helped set the tone for the defense. You know, it kind of sounds like a rhetorical question right there. You know, he sets the tone. He did set the tone this week. And, the thing I love about Rowe is he's Rowe. He's himself. He's his best version of himself. He's honest. He's straightforward. He's a man of character. And he's a leader, and he backs it up. And that's what he did, and all the guys had his back. And, as a coach, you're going to be proud of that.
John, you guys talked about, running less, throwing more this season, in particular with Lamar. We saw him make a number of plays in his legs today. How, I guess, are you finding that it's important to sort of go back to that as needed?
Well, it's not go back or go to it or anything else. Lamar Jackson is who he is as a player because of who he is and what his abilities and talents and his hard work and his intelligence and all those things. So he's going to bring his full skill set to every game. That's what he's going to do. That's what he does. That's why he is who he is.
Do one more for Coach. Unless that's
all right, great, thanks. All right. Yep, that's